But for the moment, I want to take time to give my reaction to the latest episode, which I can sum up in one word.
What?
Yeah, I'm just going to talk about that at some point. Well, at some point, time to talk about it.
We've been searching for cutie marks for a while now, trying to find out how we fit in. So many ways we've tried before, but we keep on trying more, 'cause the Cutie Mark Crusaders don't give in.
Hey every pony, welcome back to Pony Talk, and the time has finally come for me to give my full thoughts on the CMC getting their cutie marks 5 months after the episode is aired. Yeah, I really need to start planning these things better. But at least I'm still getting to it before Silver Quill, so ha! And there's actually a bit of a funny story here. See, when I was first watching Crusaders of the Lost Mark, I wanted to do an episode about if the Cutie Mark Crusaders should get their cutie marks this season. So, right when I pulled up my episode list and was right about to write that title down, well...
What happened? What's going on? It's your cutie marks. They're amazing. We all got the same cutie mark. Cutie Mark Crusaders forever.
So, naturally I had two reactions. The first, of course, being the "what?" reaction. The second being, well, gotta change the name of that video now. So now I'm left wondering, not if they should get them, but whether or not it was a good thing they got them now. Because I know, much like Princess Twilight, there are some who think that the CMC getting their cutie marks should have been either a final season or final episode kind of thing. To the point where I was legitimately afraid this was the final season when that happened. Thankfully, Season 6 was confirmed not long after that, so we're all good. And I can see the point they're making with this, but honestly, I'm glad they finally got their cutie marks now and it's not the last season. The main reason being is, well, they were kind of stagnating. I know there are quite a few fans who actually dreaded the idea of a CMC episode because they all followed the exact same formula. They would come up with some kind of scheme to try to get their cutie marks.
I'm glad we're doing this as a team. Me too. So what are we doing again? A super awesome dramatic song for the talent show, of course. Right, with super cool scenery and amazing costumes and mind-blowing dance moves. This is gonna be so amazing.
Things would go wrong and they would upset some ponies. They'd get their comeuppance.
Ta-da! Become a tree. Rise! That didn't turn out quite how I had hoped.
And then give a speech about what they learned.
Wait, yo! He ain't what you think he is!
Stand aside, young'uns. This one's going back to jail.
But he never wanted to ruin any rodeos. Those were just bad accidents.
Sweetie Belle, what are you talking about?
Troubleshoes has a gift for making ponies laugh. He's maybe the best rodeo clown I ever seen.
That's true. He is awful funny.
He thought his cutie mark was telling him to keep away from rodeos, but deep inside he knew that's where he was meant to be. He just didn't know how to do it.
And set on repeat. In fact, those clips were not only from different episodes, but different seasons. So you see how some might get a little tired of seeing that over and over again? And of course, that's not to say the CMC are bad characters. They're very good characters like most of the other characters on the show. They're very well rounded when they get to be their own characters and not just the plot-driven device of getting cutie marks. Heck, sometimes they're the best part of an episode. And in a show that's been amazingly good at showing character progression and constantly changing the status quo, them not getting their Cutie Marks just because that's the way it is, well, that's not a really good answer, is it? Their characters were starting to stagnate, they weren't going anywhere, and that was starting to turn some people off. Not to mention their voice actresses were getting older too, and it was hard for them to keep the very young sounding voices. I mean, just go back and watch season 1, they sound a lot different than they do now in season 5. Heck, I saw not too long ago over on Twitter that Claire Corlett, the voice of Sweetie Belle, is taking her driver's test. Sweetie Belle is learning to drive, you guys, which is really kind of terrifying if you sit back and think about it. Though it would make for a hilarious Equestria Girls short. 10 Bits says Rarity pukes afterwards. So yeah, they're not going to stay kids forever, and I think their characters should be allowed to age with them, like they do with Finn on Adventure Time. His voice actor started out as a little kid, and then of course naturally grew, so they allowed Finn to age with him. It's a very novel idea you don't see in a lot of animated shows, and I don't see any reason why My Little Pony shouldn't follow suit. There was already the hint of them possibly getting their Cutie Marks this season when the Season 5 poster came out and had all these little marked out characters, and 3 of them suspiciously look like the CMC. So why would they do that? Heck, that idea was why I was going to do the original video in the first place. And heck, them getting their Cutie Marks on the 5th year anniversary of the show seems all the more fitting to me. So yeah, I think it's a good thing they finally got their Cutie Marks. I'm really curious to see where they go from here, especially with some of the things they've hinted at already with them for Season 6. I also really hope they explore the kind of Cutie Marks they have, because as far as I know, a situation like this is kind of unique. I mean, the fact they all have the same shield backdrop for Cutie Mark shows their bond in a way that even the main 6 don't have. But at the same time, they also have individual Cutie Marks inside there showing off their individual talent. I really want to see how that comes to play in the next season. The most interesting of which being Scootaloo's wing with a lightning bolt insignia. Does that mean she'll actually get to fly next season? Because that itself could make for a very rewarding, very touching episode. And again, I think it's a lot of things some people want to see. I know I want to see it. I remember hearing how Lauren Faust's original idea is Scootaloo would be disabled and would never be able to fly, and while I get that's a good message to send to kids, cut the girl a break, will ya? We already have the whole idea of her being an orphan floating around, and nothing really to disprove that yet, especially considering her parents seem to be absent in the whole Cutie Mark aftermath. I mean, even the Apple parents kinda got a mention.
Oh, Sugar Cube. If Mom and Dad were here, they'd be so proud of you.
Oh, thanks, Applejack.
In a very feels-hurting kind of way. Actually, while I'm thinking about this, why weren't Sweetie Belle and Rarity's parents there? We know they're alive, and they exist. I'm beginning to think something weird's going on with that family. And I've officially gone off on a tangent, so maybe it's time to wrap these things up. So, yeah. I really like they got their Cutie Marks, and I'm curious to see where they go within Season 6, especially their resolve to help other Blank Flangs get their Cutie Marks. I think that's going to lead to a lot of really good episodes, and maybe some shifting dynamics between them as well. And if the episode listings are true, we won't have much longer to wait to find out. I do kind of wonder when new merchandise with them with their Cutie Marks will start appearing. And if that will make the stuff already out there without their Cutie Marks even more valuable. Or maybe a company like Retro Labels will come along and make stickers of their Cutie Marks they can just slap on the stuff you already have. Maybe I should rephrase that given where Cutie Marks are located. Anyway, what do you guys think? Is it a good thing that got their Cutie Marks now? Is it a bad thing? Would you prefer this be left till the final season? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And join me next time when I talk about the pony who drove them to really get their Cutie Marks in the first place, and oddly enough, helped them get them now, and was also one of the characters redeemed in Season 5, which is exactly what I'm going to be talking about next time. So, join me then. Until then, I am Blackbird, and I'll see you guys again for more pony talk.